Ask the Smashcast!
Hello? Am I in the right room?
Welcome! Greetings!
Do you have to say that every time you're under a room?
It's called a contractual obligation. Young, whatever you are.
Excuse me? I'm a Pokemon?
Guys, let's not fight! You know what happened in the break room. Let's not have the same thing happen again.
So I guess it's our turn to answer questions, Mr. Announcer Man.
Correct!
Why does everyone have to yell?
That's a very good question. Now, on to the questions. This comes from Rachel Lightcap to Luigi. Since Luigi's Mansion 3 is focusing on a hotel, and that EGAD gave you Goigi, how's the ghost catching business, and how are you handling it?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I still get a bit spooked whenever I see ghosties. Well, more aggressive ghosts anyway. But I like to think I got pretty good at it. And ever since I adopted Polter Pop, he's been helping me deal with my ghost phobias.
You have a ghost dog? Aw, how cute!
Yep, he's a good doggy. Even if he can be a bit rambunctious sometimes. He also has a bad habit of leaving ectoplasm on the carpet. Luckily, the poltergeist cleans it up well.
Gross! Can we move on to the next question, please?
This next question is from Hoobadoopatron to Ness. Assuming you have already finished your adventure to beat Gygus, do you ever hang out with Paula, Jeff, and Pooh still?
Of course I do. I always hang out with them whenever they're around. Of course, you may have noticed that there are more around me whenever I reach my final smash or I summon Jeff to do my dirty work. I do hang out with Paula a little bit more than the others, though, since she's a little closer to home and all.
Ah, you both sound adorable together.
Ah, young love, blooming on the battlefield.
No! We're just friends! I swear!
Sure you are.
Solomon Held asks to Captain Falcon. How do you feel about F-Zero barely getting any games now?
A very good question, young one. I'll be equally blunt with you. I do feel a bit disappointed that we haven't had a new F-Zero tournament in ages. But thankfully, being in Smash, I can still stay active and show newer generations my moves.
Boy, do I know how that feels.
Our next question comes from Jory Johnson to Jigglypuff. How does rest even work? You sleep on someone and they catapult away? Like, what?
I'm not really sure myself. I fall asleep, and then all of a sudden, people are just gone. Like this.
Whoa! Now that was an explosive technique! Remind me to trade fight tactics with you after this episode, young one.
Shouldn't we go help him?
Oh, don't worry, kid. I'm sure he'll be fine. He had a one-up mushroom before we clocked in.
From Jet Foxhound 34 to Luigi. Why exactly were you in Dracula's castle in the first place?
Oh, right, the question. Well, EGAD wanted me to investigate that castle because he thought the paranormal activities emanating from it would really help his research. But, well, let's just say I didn't exactly see the usual boos and ghosties there.
Ah, yes, Dracula's castle. Despite this green man's best efforts, even his contraptions were no match for the Prince of Darkness and his forces.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Belmont. Were you always in this room with us?
This place has, like, the worst security ever.
I was merely roaming these sterile halls and overheard an explosion that took place here.
Guilty as charged.
Sora Dragonheart asks to Ness. Who taught you to swing a baseball bat so well that you even knock away fireballs and blast of energy?
Well, it was my dad at first who taught me how to play baseball when I was really young. This was before he started being busy with work all the time. I soon picked it up on my own and practiced every day, using my sister as the pitcher. I still hold a lot of fond memories of those times.
Those sound like lovely times, Ness. It kind of reminds me of when Mario and I used to play golf when we were younger. And go-karting.
Boring. Next question, please. And maybe something that won't put us to sleep?
Hey, you have been really mean this whole time. Why don't you act a little nicer?
Why don't you act a little less lame?
Well, let me answer that with a good retort. Vindication!
Francis Brony asks to Captain Falcon, how and where did you get the idea for the name of Falcon Punch if you're just a racer? Unless you do some off-the-books jobs and you made it up.
Well, in addition to being a top-tier F-Zero racer, I also take on the occasional bounty hunter job. In fact, several of my majestic moves I actually adopted from the fighting techniques I performed while rounding up the nastiest criminals in the city. And king above them all is the mighty Falcon Punch!
Okay. But how did you come up with...
Falcon Punch! You know, I did say occupied!
Frisky Calibre asks to Jigglypuff, are you afraid of needles?
Yes, next question.
Jigglyjai asks to Luigi, who do you think is more scary, King Boo or the legendary ghost Pokemon, Giratina?
Well, I don't think I've ever seen this Giratina? Giratina? Sounds like a drink. But I do know King Boo is pretty scary. I'll never forget the look on Mario's face when I saw him trapped in that portrait.
To Ness, you may be homesick, but if you chose to go to any place in the world other than home, which one would it be and why?
I'd say Tucson, since it's closer to home and I can see the Runaway 5 whenever I want to.
To Captain Falcon, when did you first ever start your racing career?
In the far-off year of 1990, for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
To Jigglypuff, do you support your fans as much as you support your own singing? Because, oh my god, may I please get an autograph?
Of course I support my fans. As for autographs, I don't really think about autographs often. Maybe I should.
NMW wants to know, to the people who were not seen killed in the World of Light cutscene, how did you try to escape and fight it?
I curled up into a ball on the floor and cried.
I tried to use my PSI abilities to fight off against the projectiles, but that failed.
I believe you already saw how I tried to evade Galim's attack.
Wait, what happened? I fell asleep when we all met up.
It's probably for the best, Jigglypuff. But for now, we have reached the end of today's episode of Ask the Smashcast. Tune in next time when we answer your questions to... What?
What's going on?
Hello again, losers! This is the mighty king of all Koopas, Bowser, coming to you live at Smash HQ to bring you a special announcement for next episode, directly to you! I cracked myself up.
Get on with it, Koopa. The security will be here at any minute.
Keep your tunic on, pig boy! The people deserve as much as me as they can get! Anyways, with that out of the way, the next episode of Ask the Smashcast is gonna be all about the bad guys. So prep all your bloody questions for the toughest turtle around, me! Oh, and a giant pterodactyl, an overweight crocodile, and the ginger pork rind back there. But mostly me, and only me!
Sure. Just ask us some questions.
Catch us on the flip side, chumps! Bowser, over and out! How do I turn this